secretory otitis media. So there are your signs in the eye, there are signs in the nose, in the ear. So all are affected simultaneously due to this particular problem. So not only the nose is affected, your throat is affected, your eye is affected, your ear is also affected. In your pharynx, there will be submucosal hypertrophy of the lymphoid tissue, submucosal hypertrophy of lymphoid tissue, and this will constantly give a irritation in the throat. So the patient used to clear his throat repeatedly, which is a sign of your granular pharyngitis. So again, in children, you have some orthodontic changes because of the chronic mouth breathing of the mouth breathing. There is orthodontic changes in the facial appearance. Now, in the larynx, what will happen is because of the chronic allergic problem of the pharynx and the larynx, the vocal cords become thickened. Now, these vocal cords, when it becomes thickened, and which leads to your hoarseness of voice. Now, how will you diagnose these patients? This allergic rhinitis patient, how will you diagnose? Now, diagnosis is certainly depends on the particular patient's history, and it is physical examination. Now, history you can take very well by asking regarding the symptoms, for how long he is suffering, whether it is acute or it is chronic, so that you can differentiate between whether it is a seasonal one or a perennial one, whether he belongs to certain particular place, and regarding the history of his living room condition and all those. Now, regarding the investigations. Now, investigations, you have not much more. You have to take the total and differential count, where you'll find peripheral eosinophilia, and you have to take the nasal smear. Nasal smear, you have to take the nasal smear. Nasal smear, you have to take nasal smear you have to take during the acute phase, where you will find the lot of eosinophil in the nasal smear. And skin prick test is very important, where some antigens are given. Antigens are given in the test. Now, antigens are given over the arm, and a peak is intradermal peak is given, so that there is wheal is formed around, and the reaction is noted. So the patient is allergic to that particular substance, and this is the most confirmatory test. And one is their radioallergosorbent test, which is to measure the IgE antibody concentration in the patient's serum. So these are the more or less 4 investigations we have to do. Like, one is your total and differential count, one is nasal smear, one is your skin prick test, and other is your radioallergosorbent test. Now, coming to the complications, what will happen if you don't treat these allergic patients? Now, as I said, that this is not a single disease. This can affect all your system in the upper respiratory tract, mostly your sinuses, that lead to your recurrent sinusitis. Then you have the nasal polyp may form due to recurrent sinusitis. In the stitching tube, I told you that it can block the stitching tube, lead to the ear symptoms, that is secretory otitis media. And in the bronchus, it can affect your bronchial smooth muscles, leading to your congestion in the bronchus, and leading to your bronchial asthma. And due to chronic mouth breathing in the children, it can lead to orthodontic changes. So these are the complications you should remember. And now the last part will be your to treat. How will you treat these patients? Now all the patients are not same. You have to categorize depending on the severity of the symptoms. You have to advise the patient. Now avoidance of the allergens. First is your avoidance of the allergens. Allergens has to be avoided. Now, avoidance of the allergens. Now, number two is the drug treatment. So, what are the drugs to be given? Antihistamines. This is the most important part of the treatment. It decreases the rhinorrhea, sneezing, nasal itching, but it has some complications like it can give rise to your drowsiness. Now, in there are some drugs like sympathomimetic drugs are there, like they are in oral form, they are in topical forms. Now, the oral forms are like pseudoephedrines, phenylephrine, combinations are there with antihistamines, which can cause vasoconstriction and decrease in the nasal congestion and edema. Now, uh, there are some topical sympathomimetic drugs are there, like in aerosol form, like your xylometazoline, phenylephrine, oxymetazoline, which decreases the nasal obstruction. This, when you apply in the nasal cavity, it decreases the nasal obstruction. But there is a condition: if you continuously keep on putting this nasal drop or xylopentacillin in the nasal cavity for decongestion, there is a condition called rhinitis medicamentosa. That is, there will be rebound congestion of the nasal uh, cavity. The mucosa again get congested and it is edematous. So you should not advise the nasal drops or these sympathomimetic drugs in the nasal cavity as a for more than 2 weeks. Okay. Now, third in the drug treatment is your corticosteroids. Now, these are in the form of oral form, or it can be in the form of aerosols. Now, the oral corticosteroids are your acute episodes when it is not relieved. Then you apply this oral corticosteroids. You give advice for a short period of oral corticosteroids, and you can suddenly stop this drug in acute phase. And what about the topical steroids? They are in the form of aerosols, and they are, let me name some few, like your beclomethasone, fluticasone, flunisolide. These are your this inhibits the uh, recruitment of the inflammatory cells to the target area. So they are very safe, and they can be given for a long period of time, because the oral corticosteroids you cannot give for a long period of time because of its side effects, like your hypertension, then the patient will develop diabetes, obesity, and other problems. So uh, it can be this topical steroid in the form of aerosol can be given for a longer period of time. Now, next in the drug form is your sodium chromoglycate. This is your mast cell stabilizer, because when the antigen enters into the body, it attaches the mast cell or the basophil. So if you stabilize that part with some drug, then the degranulation will not happen in subsequent exposure to the allergens. So when the degranulation is not there, then there will be no release of your chemical mediators. So you can prevent the symptoms of your allergens. So you have the this sodium chromoglycate to stabilize the mast cell. Now coming to the decrease, how to decrease the rhinorrhea, there are some anticholinergic drugs like your iptatropium bromides and some leukotriene receptor antagonists are there. Okay, so they are also they are very helpful in your the treatment process. Now coming to the immunotherapy. Now, immunotherapy is the ultimate treatment of your allergens. Here, the allergen, that is the antigen, is given in a very gradual dose till it reaches the maintenance dose. What it forms is it decreases the formation of IgE mediated immunological response in the body. IgE is diminished and it produces the IgG in the body. So this immunotherapy has to be given for a longer period of time, like 2 years, 3 years, and it can be given in the form of oral form or in sublingual form or the intranasal form. So this is very safe and this is the treatment of choice in allergic rhinitis. What other drugs what I have mentioned, that is your leukotriene receptor antagonist, anticholinergics, then sodium chromoglycate, steroids, okay, sympathomimetic drugs, antihistamines. These all are your, this will give you a temporary relief. But to treat allergic rhinitis is very complex. You have to tackle everything. You have to consider the patient's history. You have to, yeah, investigate it thoroughly. You have to find out the positive agent, and then you have to proceed accordingly. Now, if you people have any question regarding this class, you can ask me. Okay. Hello. Hello. Supriya, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Can you take out the
Hello.
can you take out the attendance of the participants? There are 78 participants.
Yes, sir.
So can you take out the list of these participants?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and WhatsApp me the attendance of these participants.
Yes, sir.
Or just a minute. Let me take the screenshot. Let me take the screenshot. Just wait. Don't leave. Just a minute. I am taking your attendance.
Sir, the audio is not clear.
Just a minute. Wait.
Sir, the audio is not clear.
Supriya, hello. It's very difficult to take the screenshot. Can you take the attendance for me?
Okay, sir. I'm taking the screenshot.
Okay.
Sir, I have taken. Hello.
Have you
Sir.
taken? Have you taken?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You just WhatsApp me or my personal account.
Okay, sir.
Thank you. Thank you for being with this e-class.
Thank you, sir.
And the next e-class will be taken by Dr. Raghunandan. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Sir,
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Sir.
Sir.
thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.